real quick. So going back, I'm glad you brought it up. Your draft, your 7th-round draft pick. Like going into the draft, did you feel like you were going to get drafted earlier, or did you feel like that's where you were going to go late 6, 7 round? And were the Bills on your radar? Like, were the Bills like? Did you feel like another team was like checking you out more, or calling you, or having you in for workouts? How does that go? How does the draft process go?
Yeah, the draft process is a dope process. You want to know the day or just like that whole build up?
Just in general, just in general. So leading up to the draft, like I'm guessing you have an agent, right? You have an agent by that time, correct?
Shout out my agent, CJ LaBoy. He from day one, he came and met me in Kentucky with my wife. We had recycled furniture. You feel me? From by the trash cans. You know what I'm saying? He came and met me, and he took care of me or whatnot. But as far as the draft day go, I thought I was gonna go in the 4th round or so. We had a couple
Okay.
bowl Tennessee, and I knew I seen Tennessee Titans had a 4th round pick. And I figured that's where I'll probably land because I killed it there back to back years. And 4th round came by and it wasn't my name being called.
Now you're at home, right? You're at home because usually in that later round, players at home, correct?
Yeah,
Or you're
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm at
Now
home.
by the way, you played Kentucky 2 seasons, correct? Two.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
2 years,
declared early.
2 years in junior college, and then I went 2 years in Kentucky.
Okay.
So yeah, I basically declared early. I didn't get to graduate until actually 2020. I went back and graduated, but during that time, I left early. To pursue this NFL. But yeah, so 4th round came by, I didn't get called. I was like, man, what's going on? So from there, it was cool though because I wasn't too upset because it was wild. That Titan team ended up selecting one of my friends, Lavelle Hawkins, and he was like a player that was coming up in the Bay Area also. So it was pretty dope. Like, it was kind of like you can't be upset. That's your boy getting picked. And then some of my other teammates was getting selected. Keenan Burton, then Andre Woodson, Jacob Tammy. And it was like, dang, you can't really be upset because your boys who you really grind with and hustle with, that they probably wouldn't have looked at you guys if y'all didn't have those type of seasons, those battles with each other, they was getting picked. So I'm like, man, if they in there and we have more good players, I know I can probably get in as an undrafted. I think Dallas ended up talking about, hey, we looking at taking you if nothing happens. So I was just preparing for, okay, I guess I got to go not get drafted, but go out there and still get a chance. And then the Bills called out of nowhere. And like I was sleeping. Like it got past the 4th, 5th round. Then I was laying down on the couch with my lady. And then I got a call.
Who was it at that time? Who it wasn't?
Coach April.
It was De'Ron, right? It was De'Ron at the time.
Yeah, De'Ron was the coach,
okay.
But April was the special teams coach. And,
okay.
He called, and hey, this is Coach April. You ready to be a Buffalo Bill? I'm ready, Coach. Let me know what I got.
Is that the longest? Like, by the way, like that process as a, I mean, you're a kid. You're a teenager, right? You're not even. I mean, how old are you there? 20, 21, maybe?
No, I was 19. I turned 20. I mean, 20 in the July.
I mean, right. You're basically a kid. You're not even old enough to drink yet. So technically,
right.
So, yeah, I mean, that has to be like. I mean, did you sleep well? Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to put myself in that predicament. Like, like for instance, leading up to this for me and you tonight, I didn't get much sleep last night. I gotta be honest with you. Like, you are, you are a top dog. I am so honored and grateful that you came on tonight. I did not get a lot of sleep. Like thinking how I'm gonna do this. Don't make any mistakes. It just was a long night for me. Tossing and turning. So like I'm guessing you're like those days, like day 1, day 2, day 3, like were they just like long and like were you like getting any sleep? Like how did that go? Like your mind hadn't been swirling, right?
Yeah, well, I knew day 1 I wasn't gonna get picked. I knew I wasn't getting picked 1st or 2nd or 3rd, so I wasn't really thinking about that. So that was cool. I'm just waiting to see which one of my friends are gonna get picked, so I can send them a message. And then once day 2 come around, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm interested. I'm locked in.
You're on the board. There's got to be somewhere.
I'm thinking 4th round for sure. Like, there's no way. 4th round came and went. I was furious, but once again, like I said, I couldn't really know it much. And I called my agent. I was like CJ, what's going on? Like, it's like, well, that's how. Like, we don't know. We just gotta
Right.
not like understood. Like, okay, let me just chill. And like, once again, my teammates would get picked, and once then my phone ended up ringing later on. We was laying down at the time. 5th round went by, 6th round went by. We was knocked.
That is so rough. 7th round, the last round, of all rounds.
The last.
Oh my God, Stevie. So, so that you're 7th round, right? Is it like more motivation for you, by the way? Like going to Buffalo, going, okay, like whatever team it is, but is it more motivation? Like going, I'm gonna grind, I'm gonna show them that like all these other teams, they made a mistake. Like in your head.
Dang, to be honest, no, that wasn't even my thought. Like,
wow, okay.
First of all, just being picked was like, dang, coming from Hunters Point, coming from where I came from, not even going to football camps. Like, I wasn't in the football life. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't in that realm. I was just doing, like, I'm just trying to get out, or I'm trying to, you feel me, do what I want.
It was an honor. Right. You were just like blessed to be drafted, period.
Like,
is what you're saying.
I actually drafted. So once they did that, I wanted to prove them right, So I was on a mission for that. I wasn't on a mission thinking about 7th rounders don't get picked. I didn't even know that world, that how they was even talking about rounders and all that. It was just, they picked me, so they want me to make a difference. So I gotta go show them that I can make a difference wherever I go.
Right.
And so, that's one thing that prevailed me, that kept me pushing on my way up to the top of the roster.
Were you ever worried about not making the team? Like, was there ever a time? Because I know you got 2008, and then you got 2009 was a back step for you because of your injuries or whatever. Was there ever a time where you're like, oh man, like this may not work out? I mean, like, were you ever worried about getting cut?
My first year, I didn't think I didn't know. I was really like, I didn't know what can happen, because once again, you look on message boards and it's like, we don't really sign 7th round guys or this and that, So there's nobody that I can really look at and say, oh, this dude made it or something like that. But it wasn't nobody in my position that I can look at. So, instead of engulfing myself in that, mentally, I just said, hey, look, James, like, me and you go be the difference. We go be the future. You feel me?
Right.
Let's just put the work in, and that just kept my head down and kept going from there, But the fans, I think, helped me out a whole lot.
Yeah, listen, I remember, that's what I told you in the beginning. I remember your name. Like in 2008, Bills Mafia is weird like that. We always go for like certain players that are like underdogs, right? Like, or like late round picks or guys, free agents that we picked up. And you were one of them. Like, for me, like, I was like, this guy, Stevie, Kentucky. Like, I saw your highlights. I'm like, this guy's pretty damn good. And then you had like a good camp. Like, I was following you, And Bills Mafia does that, man. We really do. Like, there's guys. Now, not everybody works out. Like, I was a Duke Williams fan. I like Duke Williams. I know you remember him, Duke. And you remember Bills Mafia was all for Duke Williams when he was here. And I still think, the problem with Duke, I think Duke was just, unfortunately, it was a little bit too late for him. Like, I think if he was a little bit earlier in his career, he might have worked out. I think. I could be wrong, but I like Duke Williams. Then you got guys like Christian Wade, right? He's from Europe. He never played once again, another guy, I was like, why don't you try him a kick return? He's a rugby player. Like, that's probably what he does. Like, but we never did it. And he was a little older at the time. He came a little late. But like there's always a guy. I'm telling you, man, Bills Mafia loves these like guys that they're underground. Like, just Isaiah Hodgins is another guy. Like, Bills Mafia left him, but unfortunately, he got picked up. And look, he's doing good in New York. Like, he's starting to make a name for